I don't know, before I start, how many of you saw either the world's tiniest mouse or very large spider walk up the aisle? You saw it. Do you see it now? Okay, so let us keep in consciousness for the safety of both of us that we just live in harmony with all of God's creatures. Oh, it's a centipede.
And it can't jump up the steps.
Okay, yeah, centipedes can't jump up. All right, because that spider could have. All right, we're good to go now. Okay, we're relaxing. It does move fast, though, for a centipede. It's got a lot of legs, that's true. Well, as it's been mentioned and as it's been demonstrated these past few Sundays in recognition of the United Nations International Day of Peace this coming Wednesday, our focus during our Sunday services has been on peace. Now, that focus isn't to prepare us for one day of peace. And it isn't solely to call our attention to a collective call for peace around the world. Our focus is to call our attention to the call within us. That call for peace. That as we become aware of it, we become aware that our consistent moment-to-moment choice for peace within us individually affects the world around us. Paramahansa Yogananda wrote, "A harmonized mind produces harmony in this world of seeming discord." Lasting world peace. A peace that is intended for everyone begins within each of us. It can only come about worldwide, one harmonized mind at a time. It's up to each of us to open our own mind to a desire for lasting peace within us and in our personal life. And as we do, as it becomes one desire after another, we can bring about a unified peace that is sustainable in this world. Peace in our mind, peace in our home, produces peace in our community, in our country, and in this world of seeming discord. Peace experienced within us is our individual experience of the presence of God in us. And it will, if we allow it to, guide us in all that we do in our daily life. If we let it, the power and wisdom of peace will inspire our every thought, our every word, and our every action. Choosing peaceful thoughts to focus on in our mind, even when not so peaceful thoughts come to mind, is powerful and wise. Choosing peaceful words with the intention of bringing peace to our conversation and in every situation, even when other words may seem more justified, is powerful and wise. And choosing peaceful actions when fear tells us that injurious, self-protective action is appropriate, is peaceful and wise. Every choice we make for peace puts us in touch with the pure, positive energy that is the source of our life and the source of all life around us. It keeps us tuned into the vibration of love that is always there for us to vibe with. And love always, always inspires harmlessness and kindness and compassion. Every choice we make for peace keeps us tapped into the invisible, unified peace that is within all life. It already exists within everything that exists. And it is always ready to emerge whenever we're ready to allow it to emerge through us. And every choice we make for peace keeps us turned on by our divinity, so that our passion isn't stimulated by anger or revenge or righteousness, but is infused instead with a power of peace that can move mountains without making a sound. Lao Tzu wrote, "Those who flow as life flows know they need no other force." Life flows with forceful ease. When we flow as life flows, we're like a sparkling stream that flows around and over and above all obstacles. Life flows unopposed, even when we think in opposition to our oneness with it. The flow of life is creative everywhere. Everywhere it flows. And it flows everywhere. And we can't stop it from being creative as it flows through our life, even when we ignore it. Even when we're not paying attention to what we're thinking, because whatever we're thinking is so natural and normal it doesn't grab our attention anymore. Even then, we're still creating. Even when we seem to be vegetating, we're still creating. As long as there is a thought in our mind, whether we're aware of that thought or it's tippy-toeing through our unawareness, if it's in our mind and we believe it's true, our belief is giving that thought all the attention it needs to affect our personal life in some way. We can't think about anything or anyone. We can't talk about anything or anyone. And we can't point our finger at anything or anyone and not be affected by the internal energy our focus activates in us. As the saying goes, when you point your finger out there, there's 3 more pointing right back at you. Which brings us to the title and subject of today's talk, Be Aware or Beware. And as we know, beware means to be cautious and careful and look out, because you never know what might be coming. Sadhguru said, if you don't know how to use it, the mind will use you and consume you. We consider every Sunday in one way or another about the importance of our being the master of our mind. We talk about, in so many words, how essential it is to our well-being for us to be a deliberate thinker in our life, to choose positive, uplifted thoughts to focus on and to practice silence as well. In this way, we create a positive, vibrational environment within us that allows what we want to flow to us because we're flowing as life flows, and we need no other force. No matter how often we say, be aware of our thinking, no matter what words we use to encourage that awareness, it's only as we individually accept the creative nature of all our thoughts for ourselves and decide to become a deliberate thinker that we feel the freedom that creates a life we enjoy living. So a good question to ask ourselves this morning: have I taken the idea that all of my thoughts are creative as gospel? Or do I need more time to give the concept more thought before I decide whether or not it's true? We are what we think about. Life is what we think it is, isn't a new concept. We become what we think about, and it's done as we believe has been an essential truth of our existence from the moment we became aware that we exist. In 900 BC, it was written in the book of Proverbs, "For as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." 900 BC. And then in 500 BC, Buddha said, our life is shaped by our mind. We become what we think. Centuries before Jesus said, it is done unto you as you believe. Nothing has changed since then about the power of our mind to create our life, except maybe what we create with it. We are what we think of, even if we don't think that's true. We become what we think every time we think, and we think all the time. So another good question to ask ourselves is, who do I thinketh I am? If we're not aware of what we're thinking about ourselves and life, if we're not aware of what our thoughts are causing us to feel about ourselves and life, then we should beware. Because we might inadvertently and unintentionally calleth to ourselves something we don't want. Our thoughts not only create when we want them to, or what we want them to on a part-time basis. They don't reach the ear of the Creator, so to speak, only when we take a moment to pray for healing in some area of our life, or when we take time to mentally articulate for the benefit of our responsive universe something that we want to attract into our life. What we put out through our belief system comes back to us, not just some of the time, but all of the time. There's no time off. And if we don't believe that's true, all we need to do is look at our life to see if we've been using our mind to create the life we want to live, or if we become a servant to our own mind and it's using us to create a life we don't enjoy. Abraham Hicks tells us, when you are deliberately deciding that you want a thing and are giving your conscious, deliberate thought to it, that is creation at its best. But when you are giving thought to that which you do not want, you are nevertheless creating it. That is creation by default. When we say of some negative thing that shows up in our life, I didn't see that coming. I didn't expect that to happen. That sure came out of the blue. What we're saying is that we haven't been paying attention to what we've been thinking, and so that we've been creating by default. If for whatever reason we haven't decided yet that it's essential for us to be aware moment to moment of the creative power of our mind and to take charge of our thoughts, because our thoughts become things that show up in our life, then it's important for us to remember that our not giving conscious, deliberate thought to living a happy, peaceful, loving, abundant life is still a choice. It's a choice to live by default. It's a choice to live without power and to let life be a crapshoot where we win and we lose by luck or by chance. Science Mind tells us we cannot lead a choiceless life. Every day, every moment, every second, there is a choice. If it were not so, we would not be individuals. But individuals we are. We are spiritual individuals, given the power to choose our thoughts and create the life that we want to live while we're here in this world. We are given the power to deliberately decide what we want to be and how we want to feel and what we want to see in this world. If we're not choosing to be aware of our thoughts while we're thinking them, if we're not noticing how our thinking is making us feel so that we can decide to change our thinking if we're not feeling good, so that we attract good into our life, if we're not actively living our life, then we need to beware of what we might be creating by default. Namaste. All right. Well, this is our happy time of saying thank you. Thank you to everyone here. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your vibe. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for your love. Thank you for showing up. It's a beautiful thing. And thank you, if you're watching us live stream, for taking this time to focus on a message of love, to open your mind and your heart to the truth of you, that it's an important part of your Sunday. And even if you find us during the week, thank you for finding us or for listening again. And we would love to continue doing what we do forever and ever. Amen. And if you would like us to, then financial support is an important thing. So we want to say thank you to all of you who have been financially supporting us all this time through the weird years, through the coming out years, through anticipation of what's about to unfold here at LEC and in this world that we live and share together. So if you want to know how you can keep this message, this community here, then our treasurer, Dr. Jamie Phillips, can tell you.
Hi.
Hi. Did you see the centipede?
You know, that talk about thinking by default. I was watching that centipede up here and thinking, ooh, I don't know, I don't like centipedes. And it shot right between my legs. It ran right under there, and like I had to lift up my feet. So watch out if you're thinking by default. Pay attention to those thoughts. Okay. Where did that thing go? Back? Okay. All righty. So if you would love to find out how to donate or donate to the Life Enrichment Center, there's several ways. If you're watching this on Facebook, you can donate at facebook.com/Life Enrichment Center and hit the donate button. You can go to our website, and you might want to catch the podcast or the video on there early this week, coming week, and that website is lecflint.com, and there's a contribute button on there. And we're also, you can donate to us on PayPal at lec2512@gmail.com. That's lec2512@gmail.com. Or if you'd like to send a check, you can send a check to our new mailing address. It's Life Enrichment Center, P.O. Box 321-294, Flint, Michigan 48532. And in the sanctuary, we're going to have our offertory with our gratitude receiver coming up. I don't hear the tambourine, but hey, it's all good. And we're going to listen to Daniel Namad and Nemo Patel doing Grateful, and then we're all going to have a gratitude prayer by Reverend Stephanie. Thank you.